Hey there, CPO here, and I wanted to take just a few minutes to go over the master video page and index that I created for my heli build videos. I think this is a new concept for most people, so I'm a little bit surprised it hasn't gotten the traction that I expected it to, because it's such a unique concept that I'm not sure I've seen before. So at any rate, generally when you look at build videos, you might see something like a playlist. Here's my Taro 450 Pro V2 playlist, and you can see video 1 through, whatever. And it's a great way to get a look at the videos. And additionally, if you click on a video, obviously you're going to see some suggestions from YouTube about other videos, including my own. As soon as we get past this silly advertisements, you'll see a lot of other videos here, but they're generally out of order. And I know when navigating other people's build videos, it's always been a pain to find the next video. So one thing I did whenever I built my videos to begin with, when I titled them, I put the number in front. So if you knew you were looking for video 7, you can find it easier than trying to read all this other stuff, which, and then number 7 is off the screen over here somewhere. So when you look at the build videos, it doesn't show you the whole title just because of space, but you can always see the number at least. So I did that, and then also going back to to the playlist. If you just wanted to look at them from beginning to end, this is probably the easy way to go. You just hit play all and just run through. But to be honest with you, there's so much content in there that doesn't even make sense anymore. Particularly, there's a lot of content that has nothing to do with the helicopter itself, like some of the tools and things that I got, looking at different equipment that may or may not be relevant to your build, looking at charging, et cetera, et cetera. So what I found is, as I was making the videos, I was getting more and more questions about specific things that I knew was in the videos, but I was trying to point people to it, and I had a hard time finding stuff on my own. It's like, man, I know I covered, how to do the pinion to main gear mesh, but I don't remember where that was. I got to go find it. Oh, there's a video. That's not so bad. What was really hard is some of these videos are very dense, like the Electronics Extravaganza Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4. There's a lot of information in there. How to bind a satellite receiver to your transmitter is in one of these. It happens to be in video 11 because I know I've looked it up 100 times to help people. But I wanted to make it easier for me to find stuff, but also easier for you to find stuff if you had a question. So that's where CPO's master video page and index comes into play. So basically what this is a consolidated location for all of my build videos, including the video description from YouTube, the relevant information about how long it is, when I uploaded it, what the direct YouTube link was, the timeline for that particular video, and then the embedded video, so you can watch it straight from this page without having to go anywhere else. Whoa. And I did disable comments, though, because there are so many places to have comments and discussion, whether it be on the forums, which my Heli Freak build thread is just out of control. I think I'm getting ready to hit 10,000 views here pretty soon. It's just incredible the amount of activity that it's got, and I really appreciate it. It's out of control. I love all the discussion that's happening there. And then the other thing is on the videos themselves, there is a lot of commenting and discussion happening, and I'm responding to all of the comments on the videos. As you can see here, I'm getting quite a few questions and things, and I try and respond to all those. So I didn't want another place for people to have to comment and keep track of, and more importantly, for me to have to keep track of. So I disabled comments on this. If you want to comment, either go to the YouTube video, click here, it'll take you to YouTube, or go to one of the forums and hit me up there. I just didn't want to have to deal with another place to consolidate information. So in this main screen, you have the top 5 videos that I posted, the last 5 videos that I posted. And each one has its own, title. You can click on it, take you to a specific page. or you can just view them straight off of this main page. The other thing you have here on the right hand side is a video list. So these videos are in reverse order. So the most current is first, going backwards. And then on this little drop down, this sidebar here, these are in order from oldest to newest. So they're in numerical order. So if you just want to look through the titles and get a check and see what's all there, you can browse through this list of videos and see what all happens to be in there. And that's cool too. The reality of it is the meat and potatoes of this thing is the search video box right here. This is why I built the entire page to begin with, was the ability to search videos for content. It's one thing to know that a certain video has a certain type of content, but I can tell you exactly which video and exactly where in the video that is. So if you were looking up a concept and you weren't sure, where in this whole build series it happened, then this is the place to find it. So I mentioned before in one of the videos or threads, I don't even remember now, that I had to use this page to find my own information about which direction the main shaft goes in the build. So I replaced the main shaft because of a crash, and I couldn't remember off the top of my head which end was up on the main shaft, but I know I covered it before. So I can come in here and type in main shaft direction and then hit go, and what now I'm presented with are videos that are responsive to all three of those keywords, main, shaft, direction. I don't have it right now set to where it'll highlight the responsive keywords, and it's just a matter of there's some JavaScript coding I want to do to make that happen. I haven't got it done yet. So I have instructions here to help you. Control F or Command F, depending on which you're using. I'm on a Mac right now, so Command F, and then I can type in, I'll just type in direction. And you can see that shows up 19 places. So you can look through and see all these different things that talk about direction. So here's motor direction and what have you. So the key here is it should be easy to find what you're looking for if you take advantage of this. So main shaft. There's 15 references to main shaft in all these videos that are on this page, right? But the key is, let's look at, and I'm going to cancel that out so I don't have the highlighting. Let's look at the videos that came back with main shaft direction. And by the way, if you want to sort them by date, you can click here, and it will show you the most recent first, or by default, it sorts by relevance, which is the most oftentimes the keyword shows up. So you can decide show all will clear it out, and then you no longer have any search results at all. So go back here, main shaft direction. All right, and this build is main gear, motor, and servos. And I can look through the timeline and see what's there. Goop main gear swap, motor direction, RPM sensor, head build. So you can go through here and look at the different things to see. But right here, main shaft discussion, adjustable collar, and proper direction of main shaft. So that is at 2411 in this video. So what I can do is I can click in this video, jump straight on its adjustable collar. 2411. I'm not going to lock tight yet these adjustment or these screws to hold them down. And the point being is that now I can find exactly the information I'm looking for without having to watch the entire video. I think if you know it, you know it. If you don't, though, it's kind of hard to figure out. But there are two ends of this. One end has the hole closer to the end than the other. So anyway, I won't make you watch that whole video again, but that's kind of the value of this. As the video library grows, it's going to be harder and harder to find information. Let's say you were curious at something simple, how to, bind a satellite. You can just do a search for Buying Satellite. Electronics Extravaganza Volume 1. If I look through here, look through the timeline, I see at 2150 connecting satellite receivers to the main receiver to bind the sats with the transmitter and how to bind them. So that's at 2150, so I can jump straight to 2150 in this video. As well, once I build the heli. And get exactly that information I'm looking for. Going on here. Basically, I have the same receiver. I am unplugged. Let's say you wanted something about battery storage level. Oh, okay, so I did a whole video on battery storage voltage. Here's some information about battery charging, and some little teasers as to what might be in there. Storage volts per cell versus fully charged. How long is it safe to leave? A fully charged battery, et cetera, et cetera. So if that was helpful for you, then that may be the right video for you. If you were curious about what type of motor I was using, and you wanted more information on it, here's some talk about installing the motor and adjusting the main gear. But I also have some information down here. YEP programming. Oh, here's the actual motor, HB2835L1. That's the motor I'm using. So a little bit of information, why I chose it, what's in the box, the close-up, simple stuff. But at any rate, you get the point. So you can browse around and just browse and look at, okay, here's the comparison of the YEP45A versus the HobbyWing 40A. If you want to know how to program the YEP, then you can just type program YEP and go, and then here's the YEP45A ESC programming, and then all the different areas, right? Brake, cutoff type, cutoff voltage, battery cell. Let's say you didn't care about anything else, but you wanted to know how to set the PWM frequency, or even better, here's the formula for figuring out what the PWM frequency should be for your build. So 2105, we can jump straight to that. And so even if you weren't interested in the YEP, this information might be helpful for you for programming any other
what I need to do is figure out
ESC.
what my optimum range is for PWM. And so I use the formula to help me with that. And the formula, and I'll put it up here on the screen for you, is basically the kV of your motor times voltage times the number of poles in your motor divided by 20, and that gives you the kind of the optimum kilohertz for your pulse width modulation.
So, and the point of that is, I guess, that I think we get hung up a lot on the helicopter I'm building, the size of the helicopter I'm building, what the specific item is I'm talking about, and then assume that there's nothing of relevance for you. And my plan is, through this build, is to make it as beginner friendly. Although I know people who are more experienced builders who have indicated there's been some useful information, but I'm trying to cover everything there is, not just what setting, but why the setting and how I get at the setting if I had to figure something out. Later in this video, I actually tell you how to figure out how many poles are in your motor right here at 2235. So don't just look at the title of the video and go, oh, that's not going to apply to me. I don't have the YEP45. Well, it may apply to you because things like PWM frequency and cutoff voltages and things like that are going to apply to everybody's ESC. The other thing is, if you're looking at the Robird, the Robird flybarless system has its own software for setup, and I went through a lot of effort to catalog all of the settings and adjustments relevant to the Robird, because I spent a lot of time in the Robird software. And so, I just wanted to make sure that I could make it as easy as possible for you to find the information that you might be looking for. So, as you see here, we've got some Robird information, different things like this is setting up the swash. We've got an overview of the flybarless system itself, electronics extravaganza, talking about different things. I don't know. I've got all kinds of stuff. How to how to get updated software and the user manual for the Robird. What gyro rate settings are, what they mean, and how that affects the heli in flight, and some analogies to try and talk through that. How to set collective pitch adjustment. So I've got a lot of information about how to use the Robird specifically. But the other thing I did is I cataloged all of the tabs and major functions in the Robird software. So for example, you have this tab for coal pit, which is for collective pitch setting. I can come up here and search. Let's say I'm in the coal pit tab and I have a question. I could type in for coal pit, and you should find all the videos where I'm in the collective pitch adjustment screen. So video 30 does that. Video 28 does that with swash leveling. Video 31 does that with 8-degree setup. Video 14 does it. The electronics extravaganza. Let's see what I'm doing in there this time. Using Robird software to adjust servo subtrims. Okay, so I'm setting up the servo arms at 90 degrees. In that, so I don't know. I spent a lot of time in here, and I don't think people really understand what it does. So that's why I'm doing this public service announcement video. I really want to make sure, not that I'm getting my time out of it, my time's worth, or whatever you want to call it, because it's done, and I use it. If nobody else uses it, I use it. But I think, and I've seen this a lot before, I think people get hung up on the, oh, it's a Taro, I'm building in a line, or it's a 450, I'm building a 500, or it's a Robird and I've got a Beast-X, and just rule out all of the other content. But there is a lot of useful information in here that if you just wanted to find something, anything, if you're new to building and you want to know how to use ball link pliers, I mean, by golly, you should be able to find it without having to hunt too hard. And there it is, a whole video just for you on how to use ball link pliers. I think I might even have a video on how to use a caliper. Or at least I talk about it in one of the videos. So video 15, that looks like a wrap up. Video 20, video 6, yeah, right here, 950. Getting a correct link measurement using a digital caliper and how to use it. So there's a lot of nuggets in here. And I'd really appreciate it if it helps somebody. So I don't care about anything else other than people that are looking for help can find it easily. Besides the fact that, I can find it easily, because the next helicopter I build, I'm probably going to be referencing these videos because I've forgotten, a lot of this stuff because I figured it out at the time. I get a lot of detail, and then I move on to the next thing, and I guess it's first in, first out for my brain. So I forget a lot of things. So I'll probably come back in here for the next video, and then I'll have a whole nother page on the 600 build, which oddly enough, I'd like to build a 600 here pretty soon. I don't even know why, but so anyway, that's that. I hope it's helpful. Like I said, I get the feeling like people don't really understand what this video page and index is, because I've never seen anybody else do it. So it seems like an unusual concept to search for video content. But I'm spending a lot of time going through the timeline, breaking these out, and I have some that don't have information yet. Like this one, it's a placeholder because I haven't had time to sit down and catalog all this. It's a manual process. So I've got a couple of these that need to be completed, and I'll get them done here pretty soon. But I did want to make sure that that I shared this information, and hey, it would allow me to make another video. So anyway, I appreciate it, all the feedback. Love all of it. The heli community has been fantastic, and as always, I just appreciate all the great discussion, and I love helping people. And because a lot of people have helped me. I wouldn't be this far without other people's help. So if you can help me, let me know. If I can help you, let me know. So At any rate, I guess I'll catch you on the next one.